What if I told you that everything you've been taught about being a good man is a lie? Not just a misunderstanding, but a deliberately constructed lie, designed to render you harmless, obedient, and useful. What if your goodness, your kindness, your humility, your desire to be agreeable is not a virtue, but the brand on a slave? This is not hyperbole. This is the foundational and terrifying insight of one of history's most dangerous philosophers, Friedrich Nietzsche. You feel it in your bones, the frustration. You follow the rules, you are polite, you are good, yet you are consistently overlooked. You watch men who are more selfish, more arrogant, more unapologetically ambitious, achieve the success and capture the desire that you are denied. Today, we pull back the curtain on this grand deception, using Nietzsche's razor-sharp analysis of master versus slave morality. We will not just explain your frustration, we will give you the philosophical key to escape it. Friedrich Nietzsche was a 19th century German philosopher who declared war on the entire moral foundation of Western civilization. He argued that what we call good and evil are not objective truths, but weapons created by specific groups to exert power. He identified two fundamental types of morality that have been in conflict for thousands of years: master morality and slave morality. Master morality is the morality of the noble, the strong, the powerful. The master creates his own values. He looks at his own qualities: pride, ambition, strength, courage, the will to power, and calls them good. For the master, bad is simply an afterthought. Bad is anything that is weak, cowardly, pathetic, or contemptible. It is the morality of the lion, who does not ask the sheep for permission. Slave morality, however, is born from the opposite perspective. It is the morality of the weak, the oppressed, the powerless, unable to compete with the masters on their own terms. The slaves perform a brilliant, insidious act of psychological warfare. They perform what Nietzsche called the transvaluation of values. They take everything the master calls good, his strength, his pride, his power, and they cleverly relabel it as evil. Then, they take their own qualities, born of weakness, humility, pity, patience, kindness, and elevate them to the status of good. The slave says, "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth." This is not a celebration of virtue. It is, in Nietzsche's view, the ultimate revenge of the powerless. It is a morality born of risenamento, toxic stew of envy, hatred, and impotence, directed at those who are superior. Now, look around you. Look at the modern world, which morality is relentlessly promoted as the ideal for men. It is slave morality. Society conditions you from birth to be a good man, according to the slave's definition. Be humble. Be accommodating. Don't be too aggressive. Don't be too ambitious. Put others first. Suppress your ego. This is a system of domestication. It is designed to create a population of men who are easy to manage, easy to control, and who will not disrupt the established order. This conditioning is a direct assault on your innate masculine drive. It is a philosophical castration, and it has devastating consequences in the raw, unfiltered sexual marketplace. The sexual marketplace does not operate on the rules of polite society. It operates on primal, unchangeable laws. And your value within it, your sexual market value, SMV, is determined by qualities that align perfectly with Nietzsche's master morality: confidence, status, ambition, physical power, and the demonstration of a will to shape the world to your design. These are the currencies of high male SMV. The good man, by adopting slave morality, systematically sabotages his own SMV. His humility reads as low confidence. His agreeableness reads as a lack of conviction. His suppression of ambition reads as low potential. He presents himself as safe, predictable, and harmless. And in the brutal calculus of female attraction, harmless is synonymous with worthless. This leads us to the unshakable law of hypergamy. A woman is biologically driven to seek a mate of a higher status and value than herself. This is her deepest evolutionary programming. It ensures her survival and the success of her offspring. Her subconscious is a finely tuned scanner for markers of master morality. She is viscerally, uncontrollably drawn to the very things the slave morality has taught you to suppress. She is drawn to the man whose ambition is palpable. She is drawn to the man whose confidence creates its own reality. She is drawn to the man who is a master of his world, not a servant to it. The good man presents himself as a follower of rules, a servant of a moral code created by others. In the eyes of hypergamy, he is, by definition, a subordinate, a beta. A woman cannot and will not desire a man she perceives as her subordinate. She may use him, she may appreciate his utility, she may even call him a great guy, but she will not feel the raw primal desire reserved for a man she respects as a superior. This is the tragic paradox. Society praises you for your slave morality, but the female imperative, the very force of nature you wish to attract, is repulsed by it. The entire dynamic is a question of frame control. As we have discussed, the frame is the context of reality. Who is setting the terms? Whose world are you in? The man operating from master morality is the frame. His values are self-created. His direction is self-determined. He does not seek approval for his existence. His existence is its own approval. He invites others into his frame. The man operating from slave morality is desperately searching for a frame to enter. He looks to the woman and asks, "Am I being good? Is this okay? What do you want me to be?" He gives her the frame on a silver platter. In doing so, he fails her most profound subconscious test. A woman needs to know that her man's frame is stronger than hers. She needs to know that in a storm, he is the rock, not another leaf tossed in the wind. By constantly seeking her moral approval, the good man proves his frame is fragile and his reality is negotiable. This signals weakness, and weakness triggers contempt. Consider the dynamics in a long-term relationship. The good man believes his slave virtues, his patience, his willingness to compromise on everything, his avoidance of conflict are the glue holding the relationship together. This is a fatal miscalculation. He is not providing stability. He is creating a vacuum of masculine polarity. A woman does not want a placid sea. She needs a shore to crash against. She needs boundaries. She needs to feel the weight and substance of her man's conviction. Without this, her respect begins to decay. She will test him, pushing and prodding, subconsciously hoping to find the master hidden beneath the slave's costume. She will create drama to elicit a powerful response. She will disrespect his wishes to see if he has the spine to enforce them. The good man misinterprets these tests as calls for more goodness. He responds with more patience, more understanding, more accommodation. He fails every single test. Each failure erodes another pillar of her attraction. This psychological decay is accelerated by the biological reality of the wall. As a woman's youth and fertility, the primary components of her SMV begin to decline. Her hypergamous instincts enter a state of emergency. Time is running out to secure the best possible genetic and social legacy. If she is partnered with a man who embodies slave morality, a man whose SMV has been stagnant because he has been good instead of being great, a primal panic sets in. She looks at him and does not see a triumphant master to guide her future, but a fellow slave who is chaining her to a sinking ship. This is when she begins to articulate her dissatisfaction in the language of slave morality, a language he understands. You don't listen to my feelings. You're not emotionally available. We've grown apart. What she is truly saying, in a language her primal brain understands, is, you are weak. Your frame is gone. My hypergamous imperative is screaming for me to find a stronger master before my own value collapses. The divorce, the affair, the soul-crushing breakup, it is the final, brutal consequence of a man choosing to live by a moral code designed for the weak. So we arrive at the unforgiving climax. The brutal truth Nietzsche provides for the modern man. The modern ideal of the good man is a psychological prison. It is the embodiment of Nietzsche's slave morality. You are encouraged to be a slave by a society that benefits from your compliance, and then you are punished for being a slave by the women who are biologically hardwired to desire a master. This is the game, and it is rigged against you from the start. A woman's desire is not a response to your goodness. It is a response to your power to create, to lead, to protect, and to impose your will upon the world for a higher purpose. Her nature is not moral, it is practical, it is hypergamous. She will always be drawn to the man who demonstrates the superior survival and replication strategy. And that strategy is master morality. She does not want a good man. She wants a man who is good at being a man. And being a man in the Nietzschean sense means being a creator of values, a master of one's own reality. It means having the capacity for cruelty and danger, but choosing to control it for a purpose. The good man is not good. He is merely harmless. He lacks the capacity for danger. And a woman cannot feel safe with a harmless man, because a world full of danger will not be defeated by harmlessness. The great lie is that women want equality in a partner. They don't. They want a leader. They may test the throne, they may challenge the king, but they will never desire the court jester. Your goodness is the jester's costume. You wear it for applause from the crowd, while the queen is in the king's chambers. You must burn the costume. The path forward is not to become evil in the slave's sense. That is a reactive trap. The path is to transcend the slave's dichotomy of good and evil altogether. This is the path toward what Nietzsche called the Bermensch, or the overman, a man who defines his own virtues based on his own will to power and his own life-firming goals. First, your mission is your new morality. Your purpose, be it building an empire, achieving peak physical condition, or mastering a craft, is the source from which all your values will flow. An action is good if it serves your mission. An action is bad if it detracts from it. A woman, a relationship, her feelings, they are all evaluated against the cold, hard logic of your purpose. She is either an asset to your mission or a liability. This is the new calculus. Second, embrace master morality in practice. This means unapologetic ambition. Stop asking for permission to succeed. See your goals as noble and just. View weakness in yourself and others with contempt and strive to overcome it. This is the core of authentic frame control. Your frame becomes a fortress built on the bedrock of your self-defined values and purpose. It is non-negotiable. Third, understand that attraction is maintained through perceived value. This is where a strategy like the dread game becomes not a cheap trick, but a natural consequence of your new existence. Dread game is the ambient awareness in her mind that you are a man of immense value, living a compelling life, and that your presence in her life is a privilege, not a guarantee. It is cultivated by having a purpose greater than her, by maintaining a social life independent of her, by continuously improving yourself, and by demonstrating that you are the ultimate prize in the relationship. The slave begs not to be left. The master demonstrates why he is worth keeping. The subtle fear of losing you is the lifeblood of her long-term desire. Fourth, and most importantly, you must develop the capacity for what the slaves call evil. You must cultivate your aggression in the gym. You must cultivate your ruthlessness in business. You must cultivate your dominance in your own mind, not to unleash it wantonly, but to integrate it, to become a man who could be a monster, but chooses not to. This is true strength. The man who cannot be a monster is not virtuous. He is simply weak. This is the man Nietzsche envisioned, a man who has looked into the abyss of his own nature and has not flinched. Stop seeking to be a good man. It is a cage built for you by your enemies. Seek to be a dangerous man under voluntary control. Seek to be a creator of values. Seek to be the master of your own destiny. This is the hard path. It requires you to abandon the comfort of societal approval. It requires you to be misunderstood. It may even require you to be, for a time, alone. But it is the only path that leads to authentic power, to the unwavering respect of other men, and to the primal, unconditional desire of women. The choice is simple. Remain a slave, comforted by a morality that ensures your mediocrity, or claim your birthright as a master, and create a world of your own making. Nietzsche did not provide answers. He provided a hammer. He taught you how to philosophize with a hammer, to tap on the hollow idols of your age and listen for the sound of decay. The idol of the good man is hollow. It is crumbling. Pick up your hammer and start building. Start by shattering the slave morality within your own mind. Declare your own values. Live by your own law. Be the master. Everything else will follow, because reality, in the end, rewards strength, not submission. It rewards the master, not the slave.